Everyone looks for advice from the rich. But advice is not universally applicable, and even they don't follow it, and for good reason. Here are 15 things rich people advise, but never actually do. Number 1, go to school. Going to school with all its downsides is still good advice for most people. It gives you a predictable path forward when you don't know any better. It won't put you ahead of anyone. It won't prepare you for the real world. But, at least you're not falling behind at a dramatic pace. And that's good advice for most people. But the rich are not most people. Like we said before, the only reason you should consider not going to college or any other type of education is if you have something better to do. And the rich? Well, they've always got something better to do. They know the school system is outdated and there isn't much to gain there, besides some connections and maybe some open doors. As for educating their kids, well, that's a different story. You see, there are 3 kinds of schools: public schools, private schools, and exclusive schools where only the real wealthy parents send their kids. And if they don't find one, they'll just build it themselves and hire world-class professors from around the globe. Number 2, reduce spending. The first bit of advice rich people will give to those who are struggling financially is to reduce their spending. But here's something that many don't fully understand. You are not saving your way to $1 million. When poor people look at where to cut, the rich look at where to add. It's a different mentality. You can't really tell someone, just make more money, if they don't know how money really works. It'll just make them confused and annoyed. But you see, you can't really reduce your spending lower than 0. You are hard capped by how little money goes out of your pocket. Once you've got nothing left, this advice is useless. The rich never reduce their spending below what they consider necessary. And if there is a need for more disposable cash, they look at ways to generate more. There's no limit to how much money you can make, but there is one on how little you can spend. Number 3, get out of debt. The average person is notoriously bad with debt. As a matter of fact, 77% of Americans have had some type of debt that's not going away anytime soon. The buy now, pay later strategy is engraved in the culture. If you struggle financially, getting out of debt should definitely be a priority, which is the opposite of what rich people actually do. You see, the rich never use their own money to do anything. After all, why use your own money when you can use other people's money, aka debt? That's how the rich get exponentially richer. Debt is an extraordinary financial tool that can either make you extremely rich or extremely poor. But if you don't know what you're doing, it's best to stay clear of it altogether. Number 4, diversify. Here's something the average individual doesn't understand. When someone invests a couple $1 million into a new type of venture, that's not diversifying, that's testing the waters. Because those millions represent a fraction of the available investment budget. If you look at Warren Buffett, which, by the way, we're doing a new series with money lessons from different people, and you can check out the first episode by clicking in the link in the top right corner. All right, back to the point. If you look at Warren Buffett, he only holds a handful of stocks, and he's been doing that for decades. When the rich say diversify, they mean investing in the index fund, not the particular stocks, or buying the apartment complex, not just a unit. They don't spread too wide into things they don't fully understand or they simply have no interest in. Around 80% of their worth is safely parked in predictable investment ventures, and they guard it religiously. The other 20%, well, that's their play-around money. Something to keep them busy and active. That also allows them to take bigger risks than the average individual without any major drawbacks. Number 5, always stay informed. In the information age, staying informed is crucial for making sound decisions. However, the rich face an overwhelming amount of information and advice from various sources.